Yo, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Jeff's Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the weekly run, let's get it. The weekly run from Jeff's Bagel Run.
Welcome to the Weekly Run. This is part 2 of Weird Exchange, an episode where we sat with students of the University of Central Florida and discussed business, life, and entrepreneurships. Lots of good questions ahead. We are wrapping the day up, so take a listen and enjoy.
All right, who else? We got one over here, one next to you. Great, go ahead.
I was wondering when you thought it was a good idea to expand and make it the franchise that it is. Like from the one store, you're thinking, man, I'm doing good. Let's open up a second one.
Yeah, so we had one running, and it was great. You know, we were busier than we could handle. You know, we just had capacity issues. The weekends were crazy. We had finally hired some people so that we had help in the shop. The second store, we got a little lucky. I had met a lot of other business owners in the community, especially in the food space, and I had a baker who was actually unironically doing bagels as well. They were Montreal style bagels, which is slightly different. They're honey boiled and then wood oven baked. I see your face. Yeah, no, they're good. They're sweet. They're very sweet. The honey on there, and they get 0 overnight rise. So you roll the dough, you make the bagel, you boil it in a honey bath, and then you seed it, and the seeding sticks to the honey, and it's almost like a brittle on the outside. It's different. It's totally different. They're really skinny, big hole. But he got sick, and he's like, "I'm closing my business. Do you want to buy it?" And I was like, "Sure, that sounds like a great idea." Like, and we worked out a deal. I bought the assets of his business really affordably, and we opened our second location, and that like nearly broke us. It was so hard, like so hard. So at first shop, you're like, great, this is awesome. Danielle and I, like, yin and yang, like she was the operator, I was a creative, like we had the perfect balance of like how you run a business together. And then now you split us, and neither store ran as well. It was really hard. Business wise, personally, it was challenging. That year, Danielle's dad died that October after we bought the store. She took some time out of the business, and suddenly we like had to zoom out because she wasn't as involved. And so I had to run both stores, and all that experience that I'd got from Target and all the other places running multi-unit businesses, we just plugged that in. We hired managers. We started running our businesses more like they were like our own 2 little corporate operations. And, you know, they got better. In that process, we met Justin. Justin had the team had been coming into the shop in College Park. Like, we love your bagels. Everybody in the office is eating them like every day. You should meet my boss. He's really cool. He started a business too. He might want to help you grow this thing. And we're like, no, like, dude, we can barely, like, we're barely staying alive right now. Like, no. And it's so hard. You don't running 2 stores is hard. And so we finally, it was like January, and me and our general counsel reached back out to me, and he was like, all right, listen, last shot. Like, we're just, if you don't want to pursue it, that's cool. But like, we're probably going to just, you know, move on, do something else. I'm like, well, let's just take the meeting. So we took the meeting, and it was like great. There was a kinship. Like, Justin had started and founded a business called You Break I Fix. It's got a plaque on the wall over there. Really successful UCF student. You probably heard the story. Spoken here before at the exchange. But he's also a super down to earth guy who just gets it. He came into our shop and he said, I don't know if you know the story of You Break I Fix, but like when we opened our first location, we hung the drywall and we built the counters from IKEA too, while he had his hands on our counters that were from IKEA. So he's just a really normal guy who built a really great business and has these tools to build a franchise company. And so we said, all right, let's go, let's do this. And I think if Danielle's dad hadn't died, we probably wouldn't have. So it was more of like what would dad want us to do? He'd say, go for it. He was also the same person who was like, I can't believe you're married to some bum who won't go get a job and he's making bagels. Both sides of that coin, you know?
It's hard to really evaluate how things are going to turn out.
It's hard to see the future. Yeah, if we could all see the future, we'd be doing different things. Yeah. So, all right, there was another question on this side. We got a few more minutes. I know you guys we had a hard stop at 12. When we first started, our approach to marketing was 100% social media. There was just me and my phone and the bagels. That was it. I reshared every tag. I posted every day consistently. Social media marketing is a completely different beast than traditional marketing. I don't even know what they teach anymore around marketing, but social media marketing is about consistency. It's about compelling storytelling, capturing people's attention. And so I knew that my journey was not unique, but it was unique to me. And so I just started telling my story online, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And as I told that story, the content got better because I was doing it more frequently. But as the business progressed, you can't just rely on that. So it moved beyond truly organic social to the point where when we were building our FDD, which is a financial disclosure document that you have to build for when you register a franchise, our marketing line had $0. And our franchise lawyer was like, it's absolutely impossible for a business to not have any marketing spend. They're lying. Someone's going to think you're lying. The auditors are going to think you're lying. And we're like, dude, we haven't spent any money on marketing. We've never done an ad. We've never spent $1 on a back of a pamphlet, business card size, whatever. We never did it. Everything was organic. Everything was social media. Now we have a marketing machine that not only promotes the brand and bagels in a market, but specifically promotes franchise sales to a different audience. And there's, I don't know, 7 people on the marketing team now that do various jobs. There's a social media manager who helps me. There's franchise marketing. We have one person totally dedicated to quarter dude. He's like dedicated solely to like franchise sales and SEO marketing, and it's great. So, I think a lot like this podcast. Let's bring it back to this. Like we're done this. We're on like episode 21. This will be episode 21. It's a long one, so maybe we'll cut it up in like 2 or 3 episodes. But, I think sometimes you just got to start something for it to become something. So, we knew that telling our story in a different way on a different platform would be valuable. And so we started podcasting and, it's led us to the exchange at UCF, which is cool. Who knows where it'll take us next, but it's another vehicle for someone to hear about our story and where it's going. And,
I think it's also really important to think about from a business perspective, having watched sort of the journey there's phases to it. And there's phases where different actions and different things are going to pay different dividends. I think what was so amazing about sort of how you started with it and then how it's become is that in the early days, you're just trying to establish identity and brand. And you did an incredibly powerful job at that. And that's really all that was needed. You had one shop, you either went to it or you didn't. It wasn't like we weren't selling franchises. So it's like, I need people to understand what this is and create draw. And I remember sort of a side story on that is when Justin said he wanted to meet me, this is before I even got offered the job. And so Justin, who we've been talking about, was like, hey, we should go grab breakfast. And I'm like, well, we're friends, but I don't know if we're breakfast on Tuesday friends. And so I'm like, something's up. And I'm telling my wife, she's like, well, where are you going? And I'm like, I don't know, some bagel shop in Ocoee, of all places. She's like, oh, I know where you're going. and her entire understanding had been through just social, just because where we are regionally, and that it just bled into her feed. She's like, I've been wanting to try that for weeks, months, whatever. And so you had brand identity from nothing. We weren't there. We weren't, we're not really in that market from a locale standpoint. But it establishes a strong brand. And now we can build off that. Now when we go into new markets, it's much more traditional, but it's an extension of that brand that's already been built that actually is the hardest part, in my opinion.
No, brand building is for sure the cornerstone.
So for you to be doing paper marketing and leaflets and radio spots without identity wouldn't make any sense. So you invested in the right spot, you're the right piece at the right time.
I got a smart guy sitting next to me. I think we're at time for the day. So thank you for all of your wonderful questions. Thanks for participating in the weekly run with us. Aaron and I will be sitting here for a period of time as you exit. So you're more than welcome to come up and hang out and say hi or ask more questions. Thanks, everybody. We survived. I'm gonna keep recording just so we can get
It's the
extra.
after show.
The show, yeah, we can have an after show.
I think it needs to be like Muppets. We can just commentate
The
on
Muppets.
the two old men and the Muppets.
The
You can
Muppets.
just
It's so funny.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for your questions today. It's so nice to meet
Of course,
you.
nice to meet you. I'm Ines. So I'm in the food team, and we are just like every Saturday. We
Amazing.
Fill it out.
I love it.
We have a regatta in April
Okay.
next year. So extended.
Yep.
Do you guys do food trucks?
We don't.
Okay.
We don't have a
That would
food
be
truck.
So awesome if you guys come to the regatta.
Is it local?
Yes, it's in the
Yeah, yeah.
15 minutes away.
I know where it is.
But
I mean, we don't do food trucks, but we definitely have
like cater.
off-site catering stuff that we could do. So
who would be the closest one now?
It would be the Oviedo.
Would be the I wasn't sure. I
Yeah.
don't know what the lake
Yeah,
is.
because we
Okay.
have so many people show up, and
That's
everyone was
awesome.
talking about how there was no food and no water. Like,
Yeah, yeah. You need no reason. Okay, I'm taking
Also,
some
order
notes.
Somebody might be interested in it.
Let me. So it's April of next year.
yes, and it's
Mark, get on out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
and it's
Big one.
UCF going.
So if I have my notes, but if you'll send me an email,
Okay,
just the way I remember it, then we can have like start the process of figuring out who's gonna do it, when, and what that
Yeah.
looks like. That'd be
Okay, thank you.
cool. Of course. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Hey, how you doing? I'm Jeff.
Chris, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Chris. I had a question that kind of got sparked towards the end, but I didn't have time to ask.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is actually my first time hearing. I've heard about the name.
Yep.
But I'm not the type to really eat out. But I will be going here soon.
Cool. Thank you.
My question is a piece of advice that I kind of get floating around is be wary of starting a business with family, close friends.
Oh, jeez. Good question. I wish that had
Obviously, yeah.
Okay,
I
power
wanted
question.
to ask it.
How have you done that, Jeff?
Obviously, you've been successful at it. How did you mitigate the risk of it? I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
it's hard when you start a business with any partner, regardless of whether it's a family member, a spouse, a good friend. Like, you definitely want to make sure you set up like really clear guardrails on what role you're gonna play, what role they're gonna play. I think for Danielle and I, like, we know what our lane is and like how to stay in it. And if we stay in our lane, we're successful. It's when we veer out is when it becomes a problem.
Okay.
An attorney once told me that when you write a contract, you write a contract for when it goes bad, not for when it goes good. So like that contract really is for like the worst case scenario. It's like the last ditch bailout effort when something's going bad. So I think the contracts aside, like just make sure you know what your role is, what lane you're gonna play in. Like you can still be an advisor and still support, but like if they're the decision maker on X, then you should let them be the decision maker on X. You just advise it.
I think it's professional respect. Like if you can treat that person, because I've had actually failed friendship business starts, and they fail because you can't go into business mode. And so when you're doing business together, you feel still like the previous relationship, and you can't get into a different mode. It's gonna be hard.
It's also good.
It's gonna be hard.
Really good questions.
Those, school projects and stuff like that, you have some groups.
Oh, 100%.
It's a great case study.
Okay, you're not feeling your part or whatever, and you get that tension where kind of have to mitigate that. One last thing.
Yeah.
I got a picture with you guys, so I can make a LinkedIn post for this.
Let's do it.
Sure.
He loves
Yep.
Aaron loves a picture.
I ain't trying to get.
Come down here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We brought a guy. We brought our professional.
Getting here, you get.
I appreciate it. All right.
Ready? Smile.
I mean,
I appreciate it. I'll be sure to tag you guys. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Hey.
Have a
how you
good
doing?
night.
Thanks for your question. Of course, yeah. I'm going.
Thanks for giving me the one tech question. I appreciate it.
Question of a lot of planning when my girlfriend would kill me if I
Let's do it.
Oh man, we don't want that.
Is there a product testing? I'm trying to keep it smart. Is there a product testing reason why the tomato bagel cannot be a part of the menu item?
Ooh, tomato grilled cheese.
Besides my tomato.
Sun-dried tomato bagel, but honorable mention tomato grilled cheese.
Okay.
because-
So
That's a power question, Jeff.
it is a great question. I think it's about creating scarcity. So like our business,
It's like the McRib.
Throw into here.
our business, the McRib, our business started on this, like the backbone of scarcity, right? Like you would go online and you'd have a really short opportunity to capture bagels. And if you got it, you got it. If you didn't, you didn't, right?
Okay,
Like, so
sell it. It was a weekend.
like Okoe would sell it every weekend, but like as you open more and more businesses and you grow at this scale, like you're investing the $500,000 into opening a store, it's not cute to sell out. Like you need to have bagels, you need to have products when people come into your store. It doesn't matter if it's 10:30 or 1:30, like you've got to have something to sell them. So the bagel of the day has kind of become that daily LTO. And so some of these flavors like sun-dried tomato or even like loaded baked potato. My daughter, my 11-year-old's like, when's loaded baked potato? When's loaded baked potato? I'm like, it's loaded baked potatoes when it is. Like it's just coming when it gets there. And so that scarcity, it creates more trips. It creates a little bit of like yearning for that. Yeah, you're hearing about it. That's awesome.
Thank you so
Yeah, of course. Nice to meet you, Ethan. Thank you. Take care.
much.
Hey,
Sid.
I just want to say thank you.
of course, absolutely. I
But-
appreciate you. That's awesome,
Oh,
man.
I
Thanks.
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.
It's nice to meet you guys.
Hey,
my
I'm
name is
Jeff.
Ryan.
Ryan, nice to meet you.
So I actually do social media.
Oh, very cool.
I have a fitness personal brand on Instagram,
Sweet.
Facebook,
Yeah.
TikTok,
Nice.
and I'm trying to still grow. I'm not going to say I like know everything
Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
but I'm curious as to how you went about building that brand online. Because I saw you guys have a close upwards of 100K on Instagram.
Yep.
Which is really impressive for a business. Now, a lot of businesses don't figure out how to actually run social media. So, how did you figure it out?
So I started the business page just documenting my journey. So like it is my story through and through, like
Storytelling.
just storytelling. It's 100% it. Like not every story is compelling to everyone. And so some videos hit, some content hits, other content doesn't.
Mhm.
And what you could do is you can like when you see something that works, you can try to replicate it and
Right.
see if it was like what about it. Like so it is a lot of A/B testing. It's a ton of trial and error. I would tell you though, like as a person that has been creating content through this business for like 6 years, and I only missed ever 3 days of posting a story on the Just Big Run Instagram account.
That's great.
Like 3 days ever. That was it. So you've got to be consistent and then to be authentic.
Absolutely.
If you're not authentic and like you're trying to like be somebody else or fake it, it just every single person watching that video will know, and they're just gonna
Absolutely.
swipe right by.
I feel like that's where I struggle with, where I'm trying to improve is first of all the storytelling. I don't do any type of storytelling. I kind of just, post content that helps that specific person that I think would appreciate the type of content I make.
Yeah.
But thank you for
I think that's a good as somebody that watches Jeff and is like a consumer of it. I
Right.
think what's really compelling is I feel like just to double down that, like I feel like I'm a part of your journey, even if I'm not necessarily interested in the broader specific message. And I think that's sort of the missing piece with storytelling is that the value can be more tangential. Like you're trying to teach somebody how to do a very specific thing. You've got a very specific target audience.
Right.
That's fine. But I may have no idea what your audience does or what you do. And I could just be interested because it's a peek behind the curtain in a world that I don't have exposure to.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where his stuff really does very well because it's like, I'm just interested. What's a bagel shop? What do bagels do? You're boiling. What's that? That's weird.
I think
And
that
so access is an interesting part of storytelling.
and it's also evolving. Like you're seeing it like what you consume is probably different than what you consumed 3 years ago. And
100%.
so I think messy content is working right now. If it's not like if it's perfectly curated, people are like scroll
Scroll.
past.
Especially in the ad.
You know, like it's got if it's a little messy, I think it's good. I think if you're authentic to who you are,
Yeah.
it's just gonna shine through. That's my advice. Just be you. Document.
you.
Document, don't
Yeah.
create.
Exactly.
Document, don't create, and you'll see success eventually. And maybe you're not. Maybe people don't care about fitness.
Right.
Like, I mean, like maybe you're just not reaching the right. Like, it's not to say that we were talking about this on the way over here. Like the movie Obsession that just came out. YouTube creator made a movie, right? It's like been created on YouTube for years and like put a movie out. It's like grossing like $150 million. Made it like 750,000. You're shaking your head. Yeah. And like
There's one with the factory.
the back rooms, yeah, and the back room's completely different. Like, so I think you've got this, like, you've got a space where you can create and like be you and be goofy. If you're goofy, if you're dead, if you're real serious, be real, like whatever your natural default is, that you should.
You guys want to collab? Sort, as you were saying, collaborations are great. If it fits your brand,
Yeah.
I would love to.
What's your
Ryan Diaz?
at Ryan Diaz?
I can
Alright.
give you guys a follow and we'll just
Yeah,
hop up
sweet.
there.
Awesome,
Thank
man.
you guys.
Thanks. Take care.
Hey guys.
Hey,
So
I'm Jess.
nice to meet you. I'm Jack. So I've worked in retail now for a few years.
Okay.
Like, specifically like beverage retail, like beers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I had this idea, and I was just wondering if you guys have an idea of like
whenever you open your first brick and mortar store, like I know that wasn't cheap.
Yep.
It took a lot of funding. Was that mostly personal investment and financing?
No, so we sold our house. We personally funded like almost all of it. We sold our house. We did a Kickstarter campaign. We raised like $28,000 from backers in the community,
Right on.
which was really a fun way to build community right away. And then the rest of it was like honestly, like our business like cash flowed from like day one.
Yeah.
Just because we were selling a product that had high margin, it had mass appeal. So we had, if we sold 80 dozen bagels at the time, which like on our first day was the most we could sell, like that 80 dozen bagels was making money from the beginning.
Right.
And then as we built, like we were strategic in how we built the team, like so we never took on any debt.
Okay.
It's different now as we're growing and we've got like Aaron and his whole dev team and his AWS bill is probably more than what we paid in rent for a whole year.
It's not profit. It is.
Like it's so I think
expensive place, Jeff.
you do have expensive days, Aaron. But so I think when you're first starting out, anything you can do to not take on debt is like really valuable. Like really valuable.
Cool. And I guess the idea was like to have a tap room that's out of a storefront, but the main purpose of it is like I'm sure you've seen it before. Ravenous Big has
Yep.
their own consumer packaged beer
Yeah.
that they sell in stores, so it's like marketing that's earning them money.
Yep.
So the idea was to just have a private label brewery that does that for like restaurants,
Oh,
so
that's
they
cool.
can actually get to shelf in like Publix and Whole Foods. Like
Yeah.
that's where I work, and
Yeah.
there's people that don't know about Ravenous Big to buy the beer. I'm like, yeah, that's a restaurant. And then
Yeah.
they end up
I think it's that's a really neat idea. I like that. I think there's definitely a room for that. I think there's still space. I think
Yeah.
you could I think creating something too, even around like non-alcoholics too,
Yeah.
because it's such like a trend right now for people. So like you could combine the two things and like have these kind of premium products branded for businesses. I think there's room there. It's kind of cool.
Cool. Okay.
Neat idea.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know reps, so I hope I can make it work out.
Awesome.
But
Hey,
interesting.
if you have questions, you want to just chat more about it, just hit me up on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Find me.
And Jeff at Jeff's Bagel
Jeff
Run.
at Jeff's Bagel Run.
Cool. I'm writing a business plan, so I hope
Send it over.
ends up.
Take a look.
Yeah.
And nice to meet you as well, Aaron.
Same.
Cool.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Jeff.
Jay, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Nice to meet you. So I had a question.
Yeah.
We also like the business. How do you guys handle it? And how and someone trying to that diversity into an advantage?
Yeah. I think for me, like the toughest thing that we experienced was when Danielle's dad died. We were both running one store each, and they were both busy stores. Like we had like two legitimate businesses going, and we were the only ones like running them. Like, we didn't give enough autonomy to our teams. And part of that was like that was a mistake on our part because we just wanted to have the control, right? And like so as we've grown now 35 stores, we got franchisees. I don't see them, I don't talk to them every day, like every month, see what they're doing in their business. Like I think about like if you give them the autonomy and you trust people to run your business, you end up growing faster. You'll end up with a lot less like stress and problems. Like you still have stress, you still have different things, but it's like it shifts a little bit. And so letting go of some of that control for me, it was really hard because the bagels were like my baby. Like if you were like a baker making it the wrong way, or you did something that was not to my standard, I would just lose my mind. And
Like structural.
oh yeah, there was all sorts of things, but people feel like it's still a bit of a creative space. So someone's like, oh, I think it should be more or this or that. And sometimes those ideas were really valuable. And I had to like let go of the idea that, these bagels aren't mine anymore.
Mhm.
These bagels are being created by that baker in that store, and it's their bagel. It's my recipe, and ultimately, it's their experience to deliver it to the guest that's coming into their shop. So it's not mine as much as it is theirs. And so once I started to instill that like ownership into that product, changed my mindset and allowed me to let go a little bit of that control. I still have standards, we still have expectations for the way things should be made, but it doesn't take away from the fact that somebody might take ownership and pride in what they're doing too.
Okay. So you're saying that as a business owner, you should let your employees have a bit more autonomy and be more in control of what um the business should do in their own way.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I think I think if you give autonomy within, like, guardrails, right? Like, I
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
I've got this
yeah,
recipe,
yeah.
like, you should build this recipe, like, and, like, I think give them the autonomy, give them a space sometimes depending on the business, give them the space to be creative, they need that outlet occasionally. But, like, even in my career at Target, it was about assigning ownership, right? So, like, if I was responsible for the sporting goods department and I had, the 20th highest volume bike department, I might look at a team leader and be like, "Hey, you're my team leader for the sporting goods department, and you run this bike department. Like, what can you do to get this bike department to number 10 in the company?"
Genau.
Like, give them ownership, autonomy, ownership, however you wanna look at it. I think both of those are gonna give you a lot of value as the owner, because then you can back out, you just follow up with them, you're not doing all the tasks anymore, you can do other stuff, you can position your time in a
Okay, cool.
I think you also want to think about what does the business need from you at every stage.
Yeah.
And what it needs from the first days is not the same as it's going to need in the later days and as you scale. And in the early days, when you're trying to build that product and understand what it needs to be,
Yeah.
you need to be hands-on and do it all. And then to open 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 stores, it's not the goals changed. You
Yeah.
can't possibly make every bagel anymore. So now your goal's gone from making bagels to making systems that allow people to make bagels. And then we go further. And so it's the empowerment and the autonomy is really a byproduct of that fact that your job is changing as a business owner rapidly. And that's the piece that you got to make sure that you don't miss, because a lot of places fail to scale a lot of times just because the owner fails to scale and they stay small minded about what they're doing. And then they never have time or capacity or energy to do it.
I like that. Like, so we talk about this a lot. Like, we always want to. I said this, and Aaron helped me frame this differently, probably 3 months ago. I said, like, how do we stay small? Like, but I don't really want to stay small. I want to grow a huge business. I want hundreds of stores. I want Just Bagel Run in any community that wants it. So what I mean by staying small is like staying connected. How do we stay connected to our communities? How do we build
Yeah.
community in a way? And so Aaron was like, you don't really want to be small. You don't want to feel small. You don't want to show up small. You want to be connected to your community. You want to build that relationship with the places you're doing business. And so it kind of just changed the mindset a little bit. So I like that a lot.
Having a bit of trust in that specific.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
So I have a question for you
Yeah.
actually. So on the tech part, what's one suggestion you could give? I don't know. Somebody like who you grad, they should learn. I do marketing, so I
Yeah.
got either way I should learn a little bit of tech.
I think the biggest thing with technology is, and this is when we build our own, this is a very important sort of mantra or sort of our guiding principle around it, is like, you really just got to focus on the purpose. It's very easy. There's so much stuff and there's so many things you can do. And now with AI, supposedly the dream is that I can make all my own software. Okay, great. But true, whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. But it's a tool, right? You wouldn't pick up a hammer and say, "Oh my goodness, what are all the crazy things I can do with this hammer?" You're like, "Where's the nail? Let me make sure it hammers in." And if it's not the hammer, it's a screwdriver, because I actually have a screw, not a nail. Like, we got to think of software that way. So for you, when you're starting, like, start specific, start small. What is the goal that I have for this software? A lot of people start tool first, use second. It's got to be flipped. What am I trying to accomplish? And I'll have this conversation when we build things internally with our teams. People will come and be like, "Oh, we need this software." And I'm like, "Okay, that's great. What are you trying to do?" And I always want to distill back to, there's a goal that you're trying to accomplish. There's a tool for it. That marriage is the success. And what that does for you, especially somebody that's potentially not from technology specifically, it simplifies everything. And now you're in a world where it's like, this is great. That solves that problem. That solves this problem. Put those together. And the next thing you know, you have something impressive, but you don't get overwhelmed, which is nice.
So it's basically find focus first,
Yeah.
and find tools. I know, like, a lot of people might be like, "Oh, I use the most expensive thing
Exactly.
to run it," but it's not necessarily that.
And that's a big reason why we built our own software, because we looked at the field and we're like, all right, could we have probably pieced something together out of everything? Sure. But we would have spent as much time on that versus just building the little thing that we need. And also, when you do that, you go through the exercise of actually asking yourself and vetting your question before you even get started, because you have to think about you have to think about the problem you're trying to solve before you pick anything. You might find that you're not even focusing on the right problem, or that you don't understand your problem well enough. We do that internally all the time. We'll have that whole conversation. Next thing you know, we're like, you know what? This isn't really what we wanted to do at all. This isn't really important. And then we just throw the whole thing away. And so like that journey, that process, which is a very standard engineering process, but a lot of other disciplines aren't familiar with it. So like it's a good skill to learn anywhere. Honestly, it's just really understanding your problems before you even start to tackle them. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for coming out. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good one.
All right, Aaron, that's the weekly run.
Wow, is that it? Like that's you're gonna have no chance of editing this. No chance whatsoever. It's gonna be a big cornucopia. You can filter in all of Corey's stuff. Corey's over there. He's on the pod silently. Silent Corey.
What an episode, man.
It was fun.
That was good. I guess until next week, bake fresh, bring joy, build community.
Yo, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Just Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the weekly run, let's get it. The weekly run from Just Bagel